My child, stop scrolling right now, because what I am about to say will shake your entire world. Your financial struggle ends today, not next month, not next year, but today in this exact moment. I know you have heard promises before and nothing changed. But this time is different, and you can feel it in your spirit. The next 3 minutes will either be the most important 3 minutes of your life, or the biggest regret you carry forever. Stay with me, because your miracle is hiding inside these words. My dear child, there is a truth so magnificent, so overwhelming, so beautiful that when you truly grasp it, your entire world will transform right before your eyes. This truth has existed since before time began, and it will continue long after the stars fade from the sky. You are wrapped in a love so infinite, so complete, so unconditional that every cell in your body, every beat of your heart, every breath you take is a testimony to its presence. This love is not something you need to earn or deserve or work toward. It simply is. It has always been, and it will always be. From the moment your soul first sparkled into existence, you have been held, cherished, and adored beyond anything your human mind can fully comprehend. Think about this for a moment. When you were born, you did not have to prove your worth. You did not have to accomplish anything. You did not have to be smart or talented or special in any measurable way. Yet everyone who looked at you saw pure beauty, pure potential, pure love. That truth has not changed. You are still that same precious being, just in a bigger body with more experiences. The world may have taught you to believe that you need to earn love, that you need to be perfect to be worthy, that you need to achieve something great to matter. But these are lies. Comfortable lies that society tells, because it does not understand the deeper truth. Your worth was sealed the moment you came into being. Nothing you do can increase it. Nothing you do can diminish it. You are valuable simply because you exist. Now I want you to imagine standing on a beach at sunrise. The sky is painted in shades of pink and gold and orange that seem impossible, too beautiful to be real. The waves roll in with a rhythm that has continued for millions of years, never stopping, never tiring, always returning to kiss the shore. The sand beneath your feet is made of countless tiny grains, each one unique, each one necessary to create the beach. Remove even a single grain and the beach is incomplete. You are like that grain of sand, my child. In a universe of infinite souls, you are unique. You are necessary. Without you, the cosmic beach of existence would be missing something essential. But you are also more than a grain of sand. You are the ocean, the sky, the sunrise itself. You contain within you the same creative force that painted those morning colors, that set the waves in motion, that breathed life into every living thing. Your journey through this life has not been easy. I see every moment. I feel every struggle. When you were young and the world felt safe, when everything was new and exciting and full of wonder, I was there in your innocent laughter. I was there in your curious questions. I was there in your fearless exploration of the world around you. Then you began to grow, and with growth came pain. You learned that people can hurt you. You discovered that trust can be broken. You experienced disappointment, rejection, and loss. Each of these experiences left a mark on your tender heart. Some of these marks became scars that you still carry today. Some became walls that you built to protect yourself from being hurt again. Some became beliefs about yourself and the world that shaped how you see everything. I want you to understand something crucial about those painful experiences. They were not punishments. They were not signs that you did something wrong or that you are unworthy of happiness. They were lessons, though often harsh ones, that were necessary for your growth. Think of a diamond, my child. A diamond begins as a simple piece of carbon, nothing special, nothing remarkable. But then it is subjected to enormous pressure and intense heat deep within the earth. For millions of years, these brutal conditions work on that carbon, transforming it at the molecular level. Only after enduring all of that pressure, all of that heat, all of that time, does it become a diamond, one of the hardest and most beautiful substances on Earth. You are that diamond. The pressure you have felt, the heat of your struggles, the time you have spent in darkness, all of it has been transforming you into something precious, something rare, something that catches the light in ways that take breath away. When you wake up each morning and your feet touch the floor, before you even open your eyes fully, before your mind starts racing with all the things you need to do and all the worries you carry, there is a moment of pure existence. In that moment, you are simply alive. Your heart is beating. Your lungs are drawing in air. Your body, this miraculous vehicle that carries your soul through the world, is functioning with a complexity that scientists still do not fully understand. Trillions of cells are working together in perfect harmony. Your nervous system is processing information faster than the most powerful computer. Your immune system is fighting off threats you are not even aware of. Your body is performing thousands of tasks simultaneously, keeping you alive, keeping you functioning, asking nothing in return except that you care for it. This is a gift, my child. This life, this body, this consciousness, it is all a gift. But I know there are mornings when you do not want to get up. There are days when the weight of existence feels too heavy to bear. There are moments when you wonder if it would not be easier to just stop trying, to give up, to surrender to the darkness that sometimes creeps into your thoughts. In those moments, when hope seems like a cruel joke and tomorrow feels like a burden rather than a promise, I need you to remember something. This feeling, as overwhelming as it is temporary. It is a storm passing through, not a permanent condition. You have survived every single difficult day of your life so far. Every moment when you thought you could not go on, you did. Every time you were certain you would break, you bent instead. Every instance when you were sure you had reached your limit, you somehow found a little bit more strength. This pattern will continue. You are stronger than you know. You are more resilient than you believe. You have within you a core of unbreakable light that no darkness can extinguish. Let me tell you about the power of your thoughts, my dear child. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess, but it can also be your greatest source of suffering. Every thought you think creates a ripple in your consciousness. Think a thought often enough, and it becomes a belief. Hold a belief long enough, and it becomes your reality. This is why it is so important to pay attention to what you are telling yourself every day. Are you speaking to yourself with kindness or with cruelty? Are you encouraging yourself or tearing yourself down? Are you noticing what is good in your life or obsessing over what is lacking? Most people spend more time criticizing themselves than they would ever dream of criticizing another person. They say things to themselves in the privacy of their own minds that they would never say out loud to even their worst enemy. You are not stupid. You are not a failure. You are not worthless. You are not broken. You are not too much or not enough. These are lies that your wounded mind tells you, echoes of hurt from the past, not truth about who you really are. I want you to start treating yourself the way you would treat a small child who is learning to walk. When a baby falls down while learning to walk, do you yell at them? Do you call them a failure? Do you tell them they are stupid and should just give up? Of course not. You encourage them. You celebrate their effort. You help them up and tell them to try again. You recognize that falling is part of learning, that mistakes are necessary for growth, that the only real failure is giving up. Why do you not extend this same compassion to yourself? You are still learning. You are still growing. You are still figuring things out. Every mistake is data. Every failure is feedback. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. You are not supposed to have it all figured out. You are not supposed to be perfect. You are supposed to be human, messy and flawed and still learning, and that is exactly perfect. Now let me speak to you about the relationships in your life, because this is where so much of your pain and so much of your joy originates. Other people are mirrors, my child. They reflect back to you parts of yourself that you need to see. The people who irritate you the most are often showing you qualities you have not accepted in yourself. The people you admire are demonstrating possibilities that exist within you. The people who hurt you are teachers, though often unwilling ones, showing you where you need to establish boundaries, where you need to heal old wounds, where you need to develop more self-love. This does not mean you should tolerate abuse or stay in toxic relationships. Protection of your peace is not selfishness. Setting boundaries is not meanness. Choosing yourself is not cruelty. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself and for another person is to walk away. But before you walk away from every difficult relationship, before you cut everyone off and isolate yourself, I want you to ask yourself some questions. What pattern keeps repeating in your relationships? What role do you tend to play? Are you always the rescuer, trying to fix and save everyone? Are you always the victim, believing that everyone is against you? Are you always the escape artist, running away the moment things get uncomfortable? These patterns did not develop randomly. They formed as protective mechanisms, ways you learn to cope with pain and fear. But what once protected you may now be limiting you. What once kept you safe may now be keeping you stuck. It is time to look at these patterns with honesty and compassion. It is time to ask yourself if they are still serving you. It is time to make conscious choices about how you want to show up in relationships, rather than just reacting from old programming. The people you love will disappoint you sometimes. They will let you down, not because they do not care, but because they are human. They have their own wounds, their own fears, their own limitations. They cannot read your mind. They cannot meet needs you have not communicated. They cannot love you the way you want to be loved if you have not shown them how. So much conflict and heartache could be avoided if people simply learn to express their needs clearly and to listen to others with genuine curiosity rather than defensiveness. When someone hurts you, instead of assuming the worst about their intentions, try asking what was happening for them. Instead of attacking or withdrawing, try expressing how their actions affected you without blaming them for your feelings. This is not easy. This requires vulnerability, courage, and the willingness to risk being hurt again. But this is also how real intimacy is built, through honest communication and mutual understanding. And let me say this very clearly, my child. You deserve to be loved well. You deserve relationships where you feel safe, seen, and valued. You deserve people in your life who celebrate your successes instead of feeling threatened by them. You deserve friends who show up for you in hard times, not just in fun times. You deserve a partner, if you choose to have one, who treats you with respect, who honors your boundaries, who supports your growth even when it is inconvenient for them. If the relationships in your life do not reflect this, it is not because you are unlovable. It is because you have not yet learned to require this treatment from others. When you know your worth, when you truly understand your value, you will no longer accept crumbs of affection. You will no longer tolerate being someone's option when you deserve to be their priority. You will no longer convince yourself that mistreatment is love just because the person occasionally shows you kindness. Now I want to talk to you about your dreams, my dear child, because I know you have them, even if you have buried them, even if you have convinced yourself that they are impossible. even if you have let other people's opinions convince you that you should be more realistic. Those dreams are still there. They whisper to you in quiet moments. They show up in your daydreams. They stir something in your soul when you see someone else living a life you wish you could have. These dreams are not random. They are not frivolous. They are not silly or stupid or impractical. They are signposts pointing you toward your purpose. They are invitations to step into the fullness of who you are meant to be. They are seeds of possibility planted in your heart, waiting for you to give them the water of action and the sunlight of belief so they can grow. But I also know what stops you from pursuing those dreams. Fear. Fear of failure. Fear of success. Fear of what people will think. Fear that you are not talented enough, smart enough, connected enough, lucky enough. Fear that you will try your hardest and still not make it. Fear that you will waste time and energy on something that does not work out. All of these fears are valid. They are understandable, but they are also lying to you, because the real tragedy is not trying and failing. The real tragedy is not trying at all and spending the rest of your life wondering what might have been. Regret for action taken is always easier to live with than regret for chances not taken. At least when you try, you get an answer. You get feedback. You get to adjust and try again. But when you do not try, you are left with an eternal question mark. A haunting what if that can poison your peace for decades. Let me share something with you about how success actually works, because the world has taught you a fairy tale. The world shows you the highlight reel, the moment of triumph, the finished product. What it does not show you is the years of practice, the countless failures, the rejection letters, the times when the person wanted to quit but kept going anyway. Every successful person you admire has a graveyard of failed attempts behind them. Every beautiful creation you see is built on a foundation of ugly drafts. Every expert was once a beginner who felt foolish and incompetent. The difference between people who achieve their dreams and people who do not is not talent. It is not luck. It is not even opportunity. The difference is persistence. The difference is the willingness to be bad at something long enough to eventually become good at it. The difference is refusing to interpret failure as a statement about your identity, and instead seeing it as information about what does not work. I want you to give yourself permission to be a beginner. Give yourself permission to try things and be terrible at them. Give yourself permission to make mistakes, to look foolish, to fail spectacularly. Because this is the only way to learn. This is the only way to grow. This is the only way to eventually become the person who can do the thing that right now seems impossible. Every master was once a disaster. Every expert was once clueless. Every confident person was once terrified. The path from where you are to where you want to be is not a straight line. It is messy and winding and full of detours. But every step, even the ones that seem to take you backward, is part of the journey. Trust the process. Trust your ability to learn. Trust that you have within you everything you need to figure this out. Now let me address something that weighs heavily on many hearts: the burden of past mistakes. You have done things you regret. You have hurt people, maybe intentionally, maybe accidentally. You have made choices that led to consequences you wish you could undo. You carry guilt and shame about these things, and that weight drags you down, colors how you see yourself, limits what you believe you deserve. My dear child, you need to understand something about forgiveness. It is not just something you offer to others. It is something you must give to yourself. The person you were when you made those mistakes was doing the best they could with the awareness they had at the time. If you had known better, you would have done better. But you did not know. You were operating from wounds, from fear, from ignorance. This does not excuse the harm, but it does explain it. And more importantly, who you were then is not who you are now. You have grown. You have learned. You have developed more awareness, more compassion, more wisdom. The fact that you feel guilt about past actions is actually proof that you have evolved beyond that version of yourself. A person who has not grown does not feel remorse. They continue repeating the same harmful patterns without reflection. But you are different. You recognize where you went wrong. You wish you could go back and change it, but you cannot. The only thing you can do is forgive yourself. Learn from what happened, make amends where possible, and commit to doing better going forward. Carrying the weight of the past does not undo the harm. It does not help anyone. It only keeps you stuck, unable to fully step into the person you are becoming. Let it go. Not because what you did was okay, but because holding on to it is preventing you from being who you need to be now. And this forgiveness must extend to others as well. There are people who have hurt you, people who betrayed your trust, broke your heart, damaged your spirit. The pain they caused is real. The scars they left are visible, if only to you. You have every right to feel angry, to feel hurt, to feel betrayed. These feelings are valid, and they need to be acknowledged and felt. But I want you to understand something about holding on to anger and resentment. When you hate someone, when you cannot stop thinking about what they did to you, when you replay the hurt over and over in your mind, the person suffering most is you. They have moved on with their life. They are not thinking about you. They are not losing sleep over what they did, but you are. You are giving them space in your mind, rent-free, letting them continue to hurt you long after the initial wound. This must stop. Forgiveness is not for them. Forgiveness is for you. It does not mean what they did was acceptable. It does not mean you have to trust them again or let them back into your life. It does not even mean you have to tell them they are forgiven. Forgiveness is a private transaction between you and your own peace. It is the decision to stop letting their actions control your present. It is the choice to release the grip that old pain has on your heart. It is the recognition that holding on to bitterness is like drinking poison and expecting them to die. Let it go. Not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. My dear child, if you have found value in these words, if this message is touching something deep within your soul, I want you to do something right now. Subscribe to this channel so you can continue receiving these messages of hope, truth, and divine guidance. Click that subscribe button as an act of faith, as a commitment to your spiritual growth, as a way of inviting more light into your life. Share this video with someone who needs to hear these words. You never know whose life you might change by simply passing along a message that resonates with your spirit. Let this community grow so that more souls can find the comfort and encouragement they desperately need. Your subscription is more than just a number. It is a declaration that you believe in something greater, that you are open to wisdom, that you are committed to your journey of becoming. Now let us talk about your purpose, because I know this question haunts you. Why am I here? What am I supposed to do with my life? What is my purpose? You look at others who seem to have figured it out, who seem to be living with clarity and conviction, and you wonder why you still feel so lost. Let me tell you a secret, my child. Most people are just as confused as you are. They are just better at hiding it. But more importantly, purpose is not something you find. It is something you create through the choices you make every single day. Your purpose is not one grand thing you are supposed to accomplish. It is the accumulation of small moments where you choose love over fear, kindness over cruelty, growth over comfort, connection over isolation. Your purpose is in how you treat the cashier at the grocery store. It is in the patience you show to your children, or to yourself when things are difficult. It is in the work you do with integrity, even when no one is watching. It is in the beauty you create, whether through art or through the way you organize your home. It is in the healing you do, whether professionally or simply by being a safe space for people who are hurting. Your purpose is not separate from your life. It is woven into every interaction, every choice, every moment. Stop waiting for some cosmic revelation to tell you what you are supposed to do. Start doing what is in front of you with love and presence. Start saying yes to opportunities that excite you and no to obligations that drain you. Start following your curiosity. Start honoring your intuition. Your purpose will reveal itself through the path you walk, not before it. Let me talk to you now about abundance, because I know you worry about money, about security, about whether you will have enough. You have been taught that resources are limited, that there is not enough to go around, that you need to compete and fight for your piece of the pie. But this is a lie born from fear and scarcity consciousness. The universe is abundant beyond measure. Look at nature. Does a tree produce just enough seeds to replace itself? No. It produces thousands of seeds, knowing that most will not take root, but ensuring that some will. Does the ocean carefully ration its water? No. It is vast and generous, covering most of the planet. Does the sun worry about running out of light? No. It shines constantly, giving life to everything without expectation of return. This same principle of abundance applies to your life, but only if you believe it and act accordingly. Abundance is not just about money, though financial security is important. Abundance is a mindset. It is seeing the glass as half full rather than half empty. It is noticing what you have rather than obsessing over what you lack. It is giving freely when you feel called to, trusting that what flows out will flow back in. It is investing in yourself and your growth, knowing that you are worth the time and money. It is saying yes to experiences that enrich your life, even if they require sacrifice. When you operate from a place of abundance, opportunities appear. People want to help you. Doors open that you did not even know existed. But when you operate from scarcity, from fear that there is not enough, you contract, you hold tight to what you have. You miss opportunities because you are too afraid to take risks. You push away the very things you are trying to attract because your desperate energy repels rather than attracts. I want to speak to you now about time, because I know you feel like you are running out of it. You look at your age and think you should be further along by now. You see people younger than you achieving things you have not yet accomplished, and you feel like you have somehow failed. You worry that your best years are behind you, that you have missed your chance, that it is too late for your dreams. My dear child, this is absolutely not true. You are exactly where you need to be. Your timeline is your own. Comparing your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 20 is pointless. You do not know what their story looks like. You do not know what they sacrificed to get where they are. You do not know what struggles they hide behind their success. Your journey is unique. Your pace is your own, and it is never too late to become who you are meant to be. Do you know that there are people who did not find their true calling until their 50s, 60s, 70s? There are people who started businesses at 70 and became millionaires. There are people who went back to school at 60 and launched entirely new careers. There are people who published their first book at 80. There are people who found love for the first time at 90. Age is just a number. It measures how long you have been alive. But it says nothing about what you are capable of, what you can still learn, what you can still create, who you can still become. As long as you are breathing, you have time. As long as your heart is beating, it is not too late. Stop using age as an excuse for inaction. Stop letting the calendar dictate what is possible for you. Start right now. Start today. Start from exactly where you are with exactly what you have. Because the truth is, you are not guaranteed tomorrow. None of us are. But you have this moment, and this moment is enough to begin. Let me address something that many people struggle with but few talk about honestly: the darkness that sometimes creeps into your mind. The depression that makes it hard to get out of bed. The anxiety that makes your chest tight and your thoughts race. The intrusive thoughts that scare you. The moments when you wonder if life is worth living. If this is you, if you have experienced these things, I need you to know that you are not broken. You are not weak. You are not crazy. You are human. And being human sometimes means struggling with your mental health. There is no shame in this. None whatsoever. Your brain is an organ, just like your heart or your lungs, and sometimes organs do not function optimally. Sometimes they need help. This is not a character flaw. This is not a spiritual failing. This is a medical reality. If you are struggling with your mental health, please reach out for help. Talk to a therapist. See a doctor. Tell someone you trust what you are going through. There is no nobility in suffering in silence. There is no prize for dealing with it on your own. You would not try to heal a broken leg without medical attention. Your mental health deserves the same level of care and concern. And if you are having thoughts of ending your life, please call a crisis helpline immediately. Please tell someone. Please get emergency help. Because these feelings, as intense and overwhelming as they are right now, are temporary. They will pass. But if you make a permanent decision based on a temporary feeling, you will rob yourself and the world of all the beauty and joy and love that was still waiting for you. You matter. Your life matters. Your presence matters. Even if you cannot see it right now, even if you cannot feel it right now, you are important and necessary and loved. Now I want to speak about the power you have to create change in your life. You are not a victim of your circumstances. Those circumstances have certainly shaped you. You are not powerless, though there are many things outside your control. You are not stuck, though it may feel that way. Within you exists the power to make different choices, to take different actions, to create different results. This does not mean that life is easy or that you can simply think your way to a different reality. Real change requires real work. It requires consistent action over time. It requires the willingness to be uncomfortable. It requires releasing what is familiar for what is possible. But it is absolutely within your reach. If you want different results in your life, you must do something different. This sounds obvious. Yet most people keep repeating the same patterns while hoping for different outcomes. If you want to improve your health, you must change what you eat and how you move your body. If you want better relationships, you must learn to communicate more effectively and choose different types of people. If you want more money, you must develop new skills or find new opportunities or change your relationship with spending and saving. If you want more peace, you must learn to manage your mind and let go of things you cannot control. None of this is mysterious. None of this requires special gifts or talents. It simply requires decision and action. Decide what you want. Decide what you are willing to do to get it. Then do that thing consistently until you see results. Adjust as needed. Keep going. This is how change happens. Not through magic, not through miracles, through choice and effort and time. My precious child, you are carrying burdens that do not belong to you. You are trying to fix problems that are not yours to solve. You are taking responsibility for other people's feelings, other people's choices, other people's lives. This is destroying you. It is draining your energy. It is preventing you from living your own life fully. You cannot save everyone. You cannot fix everyone. You cannot make everyone happy. And trying to do so is not noble or loving. It is actually a form of control disguised as care. When you try to manage other people's emotions, when you sacrifice your own needs to meet theirs, when you carry their problems as if they were your own, you are sending them the message that you do not believe they are capable of handling their own life. You are robbing them of the opportunity to grow through their struggles. You are enabling their dysfunction, and you are teaching them that your needs do not matter. This must stop. You must learn to set boundaries. You must learn to say no without guilt. You must learn to let people experience the natural consequences of their choices. You must learn to distinguish between helping and enabling, between compassion and codependence, between supporting someone and carrying them. When you truly love someone, you want them to become strong, capable, and independent. You want them to learn and grow. You want them to discover their own power. And sometimes the most loving thing you can do is step back and let them struggle. Let them fall. Let them figure it out. Be there to encourage, but not to rescue. Be there to support, but not to solve. Be there to love, but not to control. This is how healthy relationships work. This is how people grow. And this is how you preserve your own well-being while still being present for others. Let me talk to you about joy, my dear child, because I see how little of it you allow yourself to experience. You have convinced yourself that joy is frivolous, that you need to be serious and responsible and focused on problems. Or perhaps you believe that you do not deserve joy, that you should only be happy once you have achieved certain things or fixed certain problems. But joy is not a reward for good behavior. Joy is not something you earn. Joy is your birthright. It is the natural state of a soul that is aligned with its truth. When you deny yourself joy, when you postpone happiness until some future condition is met, when you judge yourself for laughing when there are serious problems in the world, you are dimming your own light, and a dimmed light helps no one. The world needs your joy. The world needs your laughter. The world needs your lightness. Because joy is contagious. When you allow yourself to feel genuine happiness, you give others permission to do the same. When you embrace pleasure without guilt, you model what it looks like to be fully alive. When you celebrate small moments of beauty and delight, you remind others to notice these moments too. So dance when you feel like dancing. Sing when a song moves you. Laugh until your belly hurts. Play like a child. Savor delicious food. Enjoy beautiful things. Celebrate your victories no matter how small. Take time for activities that serve no purpose other than enjoyment. This is not selfish. This is not a waste of time. This is you honoring the gift of being alive. This is you acknowledging that life is meant to be experienced, not just endured. And please, my child, stop waiting for perfect conditions before you allow yourself to be happy. Stop telling yourself you will be happy when you lose weight, when you find a partner, when you get a promotion, when you have more money, when your kids are older, when you retire. If you keep postponing joy until conditions are perfect, you will never experience it. Because conditions are never perfect. There is always something to worry about. There is always something that needs fixing. There is always a reason to delay happiness. But life is happening right now. This moment is all you truly have. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. All you have is now. And in this moment, there is something to appreciate. In this moment, there is something to enjoy. In this moment, there is a choice between focusing on what is wrong or noticing what is right. Choose wisely. Choose joy whenever you can. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are alive, and that alone is worth celebrating. My beloved child, as we near the end of this message, I want you to feel the weight of these words settling into your soul. I want you to really hear what I am saying. You are not an accident. You are not a mistake. You are not a random collection of atoms that somehow gained consciousness. You are a sacred expression of the divine, unique and unrepeatable, precious beyond all measure. The same force that created galaxies and painted sunsets and designed the intricate perfection of a single flower. That same force created you with intention, with love, with purpose. You are a masterpiece. You are a miracle. And the fact that you sometimes forget this, the fact that the world sometimes makes you doubt this, does not make it any less true. Everything you have been through, every painful experience, every loss, every betrayal, every disappointment, every moment of suffering has been preparing you for something, has been teaching you something, has been transforming you into someone capable of holding more joy, more love, more wisdom than you could have held without those experiences. Your scars are not signs of weakness. They are badges of honor. They are proof that you have lived, that you have felt, that you have survived. They are evidence of your strength, your resilience, your courage. Do not hide them. Do not be ashamed of them. They are part of your story. And your story is beautiful precisely because it includes both light and darkness, both triumph and struggle, both falling and rising. You are standing right now on the edge of something new. I can feel it even if you cannot. There is a shift happening in your life, in your consciousness, in your spirit. Old patterns are breaking down. Old beliefs are crumbling. What once seemed important no longer holds the same weight. What once scared you no longer has the same power. You are shedding an old skin, and yes, it is uncomfortable. Yes, it is confusing. Yes, there are moments when you want to cling to what is familiar, even if it no longer serves you. But you cannot go back. You can only go forward. And forward leads to a version of yourself that is more authentic, more powerful, more aligned with your truth than you have ever been before. Trust this process. Trust the unfolding. Trust that even when you cannot see the next step, even when the path ahead is shrouded in fog, even when you feel like you are walking blind, you are being guided. Every step you take is the right step because it is the step you are taking. Every choice you make is teaching you something. Every experience, even the painful ones, is moving you toward your highest good. There are no mistakes in this journey. There are only lessons. There are only opportunities for growth. There are only chances to become more of who you truly are. And you are never, ever alone. Even in your darkest moments, even in your loneliest hours, even when every human has abandoned you, there is a presence with you that will never leave. Call it God, call it universe, call it spirit, call it your higher self. The name does not matter. What matters is that you feel it. What matters is that you trust it. What matters is that you open yourself to receive the guidance, the comfort, the love that is always available to you. You are held. You are supported. You are cherished beyond your ability to comprehend. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can separate you from this love. Not your mistakes, not your failures, not your doubts, not your fears. This love is unconditional, eternal, infinite. It asks nothing of you except that you allow yourself to receive it. So my dear, precious, beautiful child, I leave you with this final message. Live fully, love deeply, feel everything. Do not numb yourself to avoid pain, because in doing so you also numb yourself to joy. Do not protect yourself so carefully that you miss the magic of being alive. Risk your heart. Try new things. Make mistakes. Learn lessons. Grow and change and evolve. Speak your truth even when your voice shakes. Stand up for what you believe even when you stand alone. Choose love over fear. Again and again and again. Be kind to yourself. Be patient with your process. Be gentle with your tender heart. Forgive yourself for being human. Forgive others for being human too. Let go of what no longer serves you. Release the past. Stop trying to control the future. Be here now, in this moment. Fully present, fully alive, fully yourself. You came to this earth for a reason. Your life has meaning. Your presence has purpose. You matter more than you know. The world is better because you are in it. And no matter what happens, no matter how hard things get, no matter how lost you feel, remember this truth: you are loved, you are guided, you are never alone. I am with you always, in every breath, in every heartbeat, in every moment of your existence. Walk forward with courage, my child. Walk forward with hope. Walk forward knowing that you are exactly where you need to be, learning exactly what you need to learn, becoming exactly who you are meant to become. And know that I am walking beside you every single step of the way, now and forever, for all eternity. You are my beloved child, and my love for you knows no bounds, no limits, no end. Rest in this truth, live from this truth, and watch as your entire life transforms into the beautiful masterpiece it was always meant to be.